Hope you're having a blessed day. We're just gonna jump right into this video. So today we are discussing what we believe are the five key components of a successful marriage.
Healthy marriage and to keep it healthy and spicy. So we come up with 5 topics. I know a lot of person may agree, but it's actually 5 essential topics, yeah? And we're just gonna run right into it.
All right, so guys, these are in our opinion, because to be honest, when it comes to having a successful marriage, I mean, relationships period take work, right? Like all relationships take work. Marriage is no exception, and we realize that, you know, we're actually going to be celebrating our 9-year anniversary this year. Can you believe it's been 9 years?
Yeah, I believe it's 9 years, but it's 9 years, guys, of being on top of it, being loyal to each other, being respectful to each other, and just keep it fresh every day, right? It's marriage it's hard work, right? And you just gotta invest in your partner. You gotta understand each other and work out your differences, right? Because there are a lot of times, you're gonna have serious talks together, right? And this is why courtship was involved, or dating that we call it, is involved before marriage. We're old school, so we kind of do it that way.
Right. So actually, that's one of the topics we're gonna touch on. So let's just get right into it. So these are the 5 key components that we believe are contributors to a successful marriage. So I'm going to start by reading the actual scripture, and then Andrew's going to elaborate some more. So the first topic, or the first key component, is love. So Proverbs 18:22 states, "Whoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord."
Yeah, right. It speaks for itself. So you find a partner, guys. I mean, you can meet anyone anywhere, right? So whether you meet a person on the internet, at the grocery store, it's the same deal, right? You go through the motion, you show this person how much you care, you pamper them, right? So, and after whatever couple months or whatever, how long it takes, you actually can decide whether you want to spend the rest of your life with this person. And that's how it begins. And then you grow on it, you work on it, and you keep it fresh and spicy every day.
Yeah, and the one thing that I remember when I was like dating people, like the one advice my mom always gave me was to find a partner. My mom and my grandmother, because they're back again in that, like, from that like old school type mentality where it's like they always used to say to me, like, find somebody that edifies you, find somebody that uplifts you. And so pretty much what that means is, find a partner that's not just going to be your equal, but someone who's going to motivate you, push you to be a better person, and just together you guys are going to strive for greatness, right? Because you want to always be in a state of progression, just period. So that was very important when we were courting. It was just a matter of knowing that we were both on the same page, knowing that we had goals that we both wanted to obtain, and just that we had dreams that we both wanted to chase, and that we wanted to chase them together, essentially. So yeah, it's very important when it comes to love. So the second key component is courtship, which Andrew already mentioned. So above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. And this is 1 Peter 4:8. So do you want to elaborate on that one?
Go ahead.
So what that simply means is, when it's one thing to obviously pursue the person, because as I was saying, you know how it is when you first meet somebody and you're dating and he woos you, and he does all the nice things, like he calls on like all your breaks. He's looking at me because this is what he used to do.
Before work, after work.
Calls before work, after work. He'll call and leave like songs, and like he'll dedicate love songs to you. He'll write you love letters. Like he'll do all those things, right? And then after a while, well, after you get married, it's like, and it could be in a relationship too, after you've been together for a while, you guys get comfortable. So, what we're saying is, you know, it's not good to get complacent or comfortable in a relationship. It's good to keep it, as Andrew said earlier, keep it spicy.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. And so, what we do.
Every now and again, I'll pick her up flowers. She's not a big fan of chocolate, but you know, not just on those special occasions like birthdays, anniversary, and stuff, guys. You know, a simple day, you pick up a bunch of roses, a bunch of flowers, you send a text message, you write a note, stuff like that. Ladies really appreciate, and you don't just do it on their birthdays, right? Just random days, you just woo them just like that. Let them know that, you know, you still love them like the very first day you met them.
Right. So pretty much don't take advantage of each other, because it's easy to do, right? You get into a routine, you throw kids into the mix, you guys are busy working. You know, life gets busy, but that doesn't give you the excuse to just kind of, you know,
let things go like that.
Right. So yeah, definitely, you know, compliment each other. Like that's free. Yeah. Like every day, get up. Good.
Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, like what have you been doing? But yeah, like compliment each other and just try to outlove each other, right? Yeah. Just try to do small gestures. The kids and I recently were away for 7 days, and you know, Andrew, he surprised me when he picked me up at the airport. He brought me flowers, and honestly,
and these are the simple stuff. Guys.
Yeah, like it was really sweet. I definitely was not expecting it, and it's, you know, that was something that I thought, wow.
So next topic.
The next topic. So we're moving on to respect. So
respect.
The biblical scripture that we found for that was, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor, giving preference to one another. And that's from Romans 12:10.
Yeah. So respect goes a long way, guys. You have to respect each other. You have to know, you know, when she had enough or when he had enough, you know. So you have to draw that line, and you know, respect goes a long way. Respect each other in everything you do, and you show respect, you get respect, right? I know you'll argue at times, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's about love. It's about saying you're sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's you know, that's where like being selfless comes into it too. Because again, like you're two different people in a relationship, and in order to make any relationship work, you definitely both have to put in the time, put in the effort. And as Andrew said, like respect goes both ways. It can't be one-sided, right? Yeah. And so just anything you do it with respect. If you guys have an argument, because again, that's bound to happen in relationships, but you can go about it in a respectful way. Like you can either, you know, choose to maybe walk away, or choose to say, you know what, this isn't worth it, in terms of like what we're arguing about isn't worth it. And so you kind of have to come to a compromise at that point. Yeah. But definitely don't let it escalate to where you guys are going to disrespect each other or name calling and
stuff like that. And try not to do it in front of the kids.
Yes.
And do not go to bed angry with each other. Try and work it out, the differences.
Which is going into our next topic. So that's going into forgiveness.
Jumping the gun.
Yeah, that's okay. So forgiveness, the biblical scripture is forgiveness forgiveness equals not going to bed angry. Okay. So do not let the sun go down on your wrath. Ephesians 4:26. So I remember on our wedding day, one of my closest family friends, well, she's my godmother actually, she had given us a beautiful speech, and the one thing she said was, you know what, whatever you guys do, it doesn't matter. Like if you guys have fought, you guys have a disagreement, at the end of the night, you do not turn your backs on each other and go to bed and just, you know, and leave it at that. whatever you do.
I think you're going to sleep it off, because when you
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, it's still going to be there. You're still going to be boiling, and you're still going to want to maybe go at each other again.
Yeah, so it's definitely, if it means that you guys are both up in the wee hours of the night until you resolve it, then that's what you need to do, right? But you find a way to kind of come to a amicable agreement, right?
Yeah.
And you just make sure that you work it out, essentially. Like, definitely, life is too short. Do not go to bed angry. And yeah, find a way to work it out.
Yeah.
Anything else you
No,
want to add?
no, that's it. You're right.
And finally, guys, we want to talk about communication.
This should have been number one.
Well, no, after love, it should have been number 2.
Okay. Communication.
So, sorry, before you start, let me read. What is that? Okay, so communication. James 1:19 states, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath."
Yes, and as I remember, communication. When I just met my wife, we spoke every single day, and this was a long distance relationship, guys. It was even working twice as hard because we weren't seeing each other, we weren't around each other. She was in one country, I was in another country, but we speak every day. We FaceTime. Back in the days, it was MSN.
Video cam.
Yeah, MSN Messenger. You remember that? Messenger. So with your little webcam on your computer, that was what we had back in the days. But every morning on the train, while she's going to work, I'm on the phone. On the break time, we're on the phone. After lunch, after work, when she's going home again on the train, we're on the phone. At night, on the phone, webcam, whatever, right? So we keep it communication very active when we first met, and we still do.
Yeah.
After 9 years, we still do. It might not be 12 times a day, but at least 7, right?
At least.
At least.
And just to be open with one another, right? You have to have open communication. It can't be one-sided. It can't just me all the time talking and then Andrew listening, or vice versa. Like, we both should be equally talking, equally listening, just like actively
Involved in the conversation.
right, like you're contributing, I'm contributing, and just basically don't be afraid to say things to each other either. I know sometimes we hurt the ones that we love simply because we were, how would you say it, we're always looking out for their best interest, and so there's times where we have to kind of give them the truth even though they don't like hearing it, right? But then that's a part of communicating too, right? Like, you have to be able to share with them,
Be open and honest to them.
right? And then share with them every kind of detail about yourself without worrying whether or not they're going to be judgmental, or whether or not they're going to be upset, or
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're gonna say no.
we can pick some stuff out of that, but yeah, to wrap it up, guys, this was just a short talk on love and marriage, or relationship and marriage, how to keep it going, and yeah, after a couple of years, guys, you still gotta try to revamp it, you know what I mean? Do something different sometime, but keep it spicy and fresh, talk things over. Don't go to bed upset, and
Go on dates regularly.
Yeah, that's another one. Make sure you find time, you find date nights.
Yeah, that
right?
goes back to courtship. Like, we try to do a once a month
date.
date, which we could probably do better, but life happens and
Yeah,
it's busy.
trying
but-
to find a sitter for 3 kids. Yeah, kind of rough sometimes, but we try to make it a priority that once a month we either go to the movie, or just have a dinner, or just to go to the park, sit and just time, some us time.
Yeah, or sometimes if we can squeeze it in, maybe once a week, we'll, after the kids are put to bed, we will watch a movie together, right? We'll watch something on Netflix, or I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to find time for each other. Doesn't matter how busy life gets with work and kids. you have to find that time to,
Invest in each other.
yeah,
Yeah, because a relationship is an investment, right? And so you invest in that person, you invest that time, that effort, and yeah.
you just gotta keep on, put stuff in place to keep it, going and strong. So, with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I think that went from a short video to a
But
a longer video. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope that you were able to take something valuable away from this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And if you're a believer, guys, remember to put Christ in everything you do, right? If you're a believer, put him in everything. We can't do anything without him, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you pray together, guys, you find the time to pray together before you put your kids to bed. You pray with them, show them the value of prayer and show them the value of having Christ in their life at the early stage, So in everything you do, remember Christ is in the midst to just lead your life and to direct your path, right? So don't forget him out, guys, in whatever you do. Pray together as a family, eat together as a family. You have that social time together. Get Christ involved in everything you do.
Yeah, you keep your family circle tight, right? Like try to keep it as tight as possible. And as Andrew said, once God is in the midst of relationships, of anything really, then you can't fail. You can't go wrong.
Yep.
So again, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.